Can I take y'all sometime?
I'm surprised you called me.
I had a date last week.
A date? With who? Wait, please don't tell me it was Les.
It was Les. He was sensitive about my needs. I never had that before.
Open.
I think I'm in love, girl.
It's so good that you got Shola out of the house. I can barely keep up with her lately.
Scotty told me that Les has a temper, so be careful.
Les, this is Mark.
What's up, Les? What's up?
You're drunk.
I'm what? I'm what?
Make sure you know coming to Shelly again. You got that?
Shelly, don't do this. You told me that you love me. Now open the door. Shelly, don't do this.
I'm here to do a protective order over my ex-boyfriend.
The reason behind these allegations is their history of abuse. I would love to take you out.
I like it.
That doesn't make him a stalker, Miss Watson. He has all the right to be at all those places you mentioned.
It's a box. So there's nothing you can do? Les been in my house.
He's not gonna mess with you while I'm here.
So when I take this into my own hands, it's gonna be a different story.
Your brother is sick and he needs help.
That's what most women say.
Wow. Yeah, so it ain't love bombing a bitch. But yeah, so that was a clip from a movie called Unauthorized Love that is starring our next guest in the building, and I'm so grateful that he's here. And I do want to touch more on the impact of domestic violence and how the system responds to that. So I really look forward to getting a male's perspective throughout this interview. So I really wanted to make sure that I had on my bra so I could be fully prepared to present to you, introduce to others, the talented actor, Mr. Izaiah Wimbush. Here we go. There he is in the building, the handsome Izaiah Wimbush, or brought out in bushy tail, like my granny would say. You know, I appreciate you being here. How was your day, Izaiah?
Everything is going well. How was your day today?
Yeah, it was good. You know, I was really pressing because I just got off of work. I just logged off and I was like, okay, I gotta get to getting. But you know, the demands of social services sometimes it just, yeah. But I said I had to make sure that I made it through, and I did. And I thank you again for making it through our little bitty platform. I do appreciate it. So that piece, right, that clip, Izaiah. Before we get into your backstory, your background, can you give us a little bit of the premise? Because I did see the movie some time ago, but I wanted to share that, you know, because I always want to make sure that that's my way of introducing the audience to, you know, the talented people that I have here. And so I wanted to get just kind of briefly give us a premise of that movie, Unauthorized Love.
With Unauthorized Love, it definitely hits hard on domestic violence. Doing that role, it definitely was very, very trying. Coming from someone that does not do that and act portray in those type of ways. Yeah, so it definitely took me out of my comfort zone. It stretched me. When being the character Les, I felt a part of me actually fit into those shoes while doing that. You know, it definitely brought some emotions out of me as far as like, wow, people really do go through this type of thing in everyday lives. You know, so a little bit about that movie. I mean, it just really touches on how, you know, how love can seem to be deceiving in a way once, um,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah, but you know what? Since we're on, no, since we're on it, I'm gonna just stay there for a little bit because
okay,
like I said in the intro, I just kind of want to get your perspective as a man, as far as the impact of domestic violence and the fact that we still in 2026 have to have an impact when it comes to domestic
yeah,
violence and what are some of the things to look out for in a relationship if you can, because sometimes you have to take people's word, at what they do and what
okay.
they say in the beginning. Um, how do you vet that? Also, what is your take on how domestic violence incidents are still not being as it's still not being taken as seriously with law enforcement? You know what? Let me not scratch that. It's not the response to it. This the way the system operates when it comes to that is not as effective as it should be. That's what I'm gonna go there.
Okay. Well, let's start here. So some of the impacts, some of the things to look for, definitely in a relationship when it comes to domestic violence. Um, as far as controlling, being controlling, sometimes we can be stuck so stuck in that love phase that we don't realize that it can blind us from the things that are actually there, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So we definitely want to definitely watch out for controlling signs. Um, even with the overly protectiveness of it,
Yeah.
aspect
Mhm.
of it. It's okay to, kind of be protective over your spouse or whatever, but when it's overly protective, it becomes a little much. Those are also signs of domestic violence. Um, let's see. Some ways that I think that it can impact that, well, what was your second question? I'm sorry.
You know, what is your take on how the legal system handles these type of situations, and how lack of effect, like it's not really as effective as it should be.
Yes, I do feel like with domestic violence, because I have not per se witnessed it, but I've known a couple people that have dealt with domestic violence, and sometimes, honestly, well, as far as when it comes to law enforcement, I don't think it's looked upon as something as serious until it actually does get serious. Um, because even in those times of expressing, the seriousness to the law enforcement, of course, they might say, "Hey, we'll check into it," but I don't think there's really a pressing issue towards it.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah. Yeah.
yeah, no, no, I understand, and also just kind of because um just briefly want to before we go into the next, because I don't want to spend too much time on this because you know there's so much ground to cover. That's what I mean. Um, but I just wanted to kind of get a male's perspective on as far as how um how we treat domestic violence, because sometimes when we try to, talk to certain victims, or we try to make them understand, and even though some of them are aware of that they are truly in a situation like that, and when you try to protect them, and sometimes when law enforcement get involved, they tend to go back to their unfortunately go back to their batterers,
Right.
and so sometimes, and there are times where they don't have the ability to leave just like that, because sometimes
Right.
they are followed, or they have certain they have certain pull within certain groups, within certain law enforcement, because there are some law
Right.
enforcement that is able to get away with certain things because they have a system where it's like a boys club, so
Right.
to speak. So what my question is how do you suggest we like some of what are some of the ways that we can kind of remedy it to where we don't have to be subject to it anymore, and b, if it's a issue that is still going on, what are some of the steps that we can take towards remedying that, or what would be your approach
Um,
towards changing it? So that's
I definitely feel that it's best to always have someone that you can talk to.
you're right.
Um, having someone to talk to that's kind of there for you, even though, even say if you do backslide and go back into it, but just having that person that can still push you, even in the midst of it, to try to get you to a place to where you can eventually leave, even though it may take time. I do feel like, it's always best to have that person that you can go to and talk to. Even not even that. Just having, let's see. Uh trying to see how I'm trying to word this. Let's see.
Because I know it's
Uh,
hard. I know it's hard to touch on. I get it, Isaiah. I don't. I mean,
yes,
because
yes.
it's hard to try to articulate. Because when you have these sensitive topics, sometimes it's hard to kind of express or articulate what it is. But sometimes it's the direct approach is the only approach.
Right.
At times. It's not that we understand that it wouldn't we're not going to try to cancel you in any way. I mean, we understand
Right.
that you don't mean it in an offensive way, but it's just sometimes direct approach is necessary when you speak in
Right.
truth. Oh,
Yeah, that is true.
yeah. But I mean, but we don't have to stay on that. But I just wanted to kind of get your take because of that clip. Because
Okay.
but also you have your you have roles. You are known for playing those type of roles. You know,
Yes, I'm
you
definitely
know,
known for those.
Yeah, because I'm like, "Damn, he just plays this toxic person all the time." Like, so
Yes.
what is, like, your dream? Like, what is the one role that you wanna play? And it don't have to be it could be, you playing someone else or, you, playing a fictional character within a certain space. Like, what type of role is that ultimate role that you would love to play?
Um, you know,
Mhm.
sad to say, because I do as well as I do as far as in the domestic violence roles, it gives me a thrill to do those roles because I know that I can bring the character to life.
Right.
Not saying that I'm not
Mhm,
not
mhm,
diversified, but I
mhm.
could definitely do the love, I can do the romantic, I can do all that. But it's something about a domestic role where I can get a thrill from it because I know that I can actually bring the character to life. So I would probably say that's probably one of the roles that I would definitely want to stick around because honestly, hopefully, prayerfully, soon that's those one of these roles is going to help me to take off and get there to the
Yeah,
top.
yeah. Okay. Oh, alright. So you
Yeah.
don't mind being typecasted in a sense, in that in sort of, being
Yes.
typecasted. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Alright. No, that's refreshing. Okay, see, alrighty. Now, so I like to start, Isaiah, from the beginning, where it all started from because we were all molded from or from the beginning, so I like to start there. And I enjoy the childhood memories and experiences that I get from my guests. So I'm looking forward to getting a response to what your childhood was like. Were you were you born and raised? Was there a single parent household, two parent household, siblings, cousins, skelzies on the street, outside till the street lights came on? Did you have bunk beds or ration out the meals or did you come from you know that type of humbling beginnings, or sometimes you may come from more well-to-do when you had more, you ain't have piss in the streets, or you had, a gated community, or maybe you got
Yeah.
a ride to school, to and from school every day, and you had, you know, with some well-to-do background. So give us a little bit on that.
Okay. Well, of course, I'm 27. Well, I'm 26 years old. I'm from Danville, Virginia.
Oh,
A little bit
really?
about
You young, Isaiah?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Danville, Virginia. A little bit about my backstory as far as growing up. I have three other siblings. I have one little brother. And I have two sisters.
Where do you
I'm the
fall?
I'm huh,
Where do you fall?
I'm the oldest child.
The oldest. Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. We were raised in a two-parent home. Honestly, what I can say is I did not have a rough life growing up. Um, but I will say that I was taught to be kind of independent. I was a go-getter. I still am a go-getter. For the things that I want, I get it. I try to work out. I try to strive hard, work hard for it. So I was kind of brought up that way. Not so much the rough side, but of course, I did share the bunk bed with my little brother.
Mhm.
Um, so I
Love it.
mean,
Mhm.
let's see. We was out, of course, definitely outside until the street lights came on.
Right, right.
And then definitely, if I wasn't in by that time, my mama definitely came out, hollered out the door, and said, "Come on in the inside." So,
Yeah, come on in the house.
yeah. But yeah, life definitely has been rough. I'm grateful for all the opportunities that I've had growing up. Um, as far as like acting, my acting career. Um,
We'll get to that, Isaiah.
okay,
Yeah,
all
because I
right.
want to just yeah, I want to establish a timeline, to kind of I want to give it more of a lead up.
Okay,
All
all
right.
right.
Yeah.
So I would say,
What let me help you out, Isaiah. Yeah, so what are some of your memories like? What are some of the key takeaways that you learned from your parents? Like give us some memories between you and your siblings. I know that sometimes it might be rivalries or sometimes it might be more close knit. Um, what are some of the things that y'all like to do? Like, did y'all listen to like certain music or did you have certain TV shows you enjoy watching and what inspired your acting? So
okay.
okay.
Well, start off, of course. I grew up in the church.
Oh yes.
Um,
Okay.
I was very heavy in my great grandmother and grandfather and them. They definitely kept us strict in there in church every Sunday, Sunday school, vacation Bible school, all of those things. I used to be in the youth choir. I used to always kind of be the one
Really?
that used to lead the songs pretty much. But I've
Oh
grown
wow.
I've grown from that. I don't do that anymore, unfortunately. But you know, I tried to always lead my siblings as far as in church because I was 5 years older than my second my 5 years older than my second sibling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's a little gap there, but I was kind of at the age where I kind of helped my mom and my father kind of helped raise her up until my other two siblings came. So I've always kind of been that helping hand with my parents, as far as helping raising my siblings. I love family. I'm a family
Oh,
oriented guy.
nice.
Yes, we used to always go to my grandmother's and great grandmother's and great grandpa's house every Sunday. My family will all come together. We always have a Sunday dinner.
Yes.
Um, I used to always enjoy after school days, coming home, playing outside, things of that sort. As far as my relationship with my siblings, there's never been really no rivalry.
Okay.
Um, but for the most part, I will say my little brother, he definitely was the one that kind of kept me on my toes and kind of nitpicked a lot. So
Oh,
we
you
kind of
feel you got on your
always,
nerves.
yeah, we kind of had it out all the time. But now, I mean, we're older, and I mean, I love them to death. My
Oh,
my sisters, my baby sister, I don't have any favorites, but they always used to say, Isaiah, you always pick and choose who you love, your siblings. But whether I love all my siblings equally.
right. But
They,
it's a
they,
different
they,
it's always a different connection. I mean, that's a
yeah,
given. It's like it's always gonna be a different connection between siblings or between parents and children. It's gonna be a certain connection, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's
um,
great.
yeah.
Yeah. So now when you say when you grew up in the church, what are some of the key takeaways that you carry with you with your church upbringing and your home upbringing? So two questions. What are some of the key things you carry with you with your home upbringing and then the key things with your church upbringing?
Um, I definitely for number one, as far as church and home, really kind of follow both
Right.
characters. I would
Mhm.
say,
Mhm. Right.
it's prayer. I'm heavy on prayer. That's one thing that has always stuck with me from, I grew up, it was a Baptist church that I grew up in.
Ah,
But now,
you
I've
was
kind
there
of,
all day and all week. It was there, yeah, you go
yes,
there, you go on Sunday and you come on Friday. Yeah. Mhm. I get it.
yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I grew up in a Baptist, practically my whole younger years or whatever the case may be. Of course, now I'm in an apostolic church. So kind of things
Okay.
are a little different now, but it's
Mhm.
still the
Right.
same belief. We still believe in that one.
Yes. One Lord, one faith, one
Yes.
baptism, right? Yes,
Yes. So
absolutely.
I would definitely say I carry prayer with me. From that. I don't let's see. Key takeaways from going into church. I'm glad that I was pushed to be able to get that. Yeah, I guess, well, not really say pushed. I was brought up in the church to where it was a way that now it's not like it's gotta be forced or it's like it's a natural thing for me now.
Right, right.
It is a
Mhm, I
month.
get it.
So I
Mhm.
was glad that I was kind of raised up in the church to where now I know that, I don't have to go to church, but you know,
You choose
it
to.
helps me in my everyday life. You
Yeah,
know,
got
it's
you.
something that it's something that helps me stay grounded. Um, of course, hey, everybody's not perfect, and we all have flaws, but it helps me keep my head on a swivel. So yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, but thank you for that. Now I want to shift into the elementary and junior high school phase, which I look forward to hearing about as well. I like to hear those
Okay.
memories because it's not really talked about as much. I think that with elementary, junior high school, I think we just kind of make it like it's just a part of, you know, it's part of being a product of the society. You got to go to elementary, junior high school, but nobody talks
All right.
about it too much because they always think of high school and college as pivotal points in their lives. But no, it starts
Yeah.
elementary, junior high school because that's
That's,
when you have puberty. That's when you start to get acne. You're starting to figure out your own anatomy. You hopping in the staircase.
yeah.
You're interacting with people. You're learning your social environment. Like there's so many different. You're into sports or you're going joining clubs. So with you, Isaiah, what was it like in elementary, junior high school? Were you a shy kid, popular kid? Did you join any clubs? How were your grades? How were the teachers towards you? And like kind of give us that experience.
Well, I would say starting off in elementary school, I'm not gonna say I was the best kid.
Ah,
I was a handful. Um, I definitely gave my parents a run for the money and the teachers. I was
why did you do
kind
that?
of
Why are you so bad?
kind of acting like the class clown, but in a
Ah,
way, it
mm-hmm,
wasn't like to try to really be the class clown. I think what it was I was very to myself, very shy, you know,
mm-hmm,
and I still am in a way. So I'm kind of breaking away from it.
I can
Um,
tell.
but yeah, so
Mhm.
I was definitely shy back then. I really didn't hang with a lot of people. I'm still the same way now. Um, I kind of stayed to myself, but when I was being that class clown, I
Mhm.
think that was a way of me trying to interact with people. I guess that's not the best route to go, but though, that's
No, I get it. Mhm.
that's how I did. Um, you know, as far as grades, I tried to definitely keep them above a C, but I kind of stay A, B, C, up and down between that range. You know, my favorite subject was math. Math off the
Oh,
gate.
really? That wasn't mine.
I
Yeah.
was good with math. Math was
Yeah.
all right.
No. Well, you should have been. I shouldn't have been at your table, Isaiah.
Yes, but I mean, I would say my least favorite is science. I didn't really like science as much. I don't know why I really couldn't get with it, but yeah, that was my definitely my least favorite.
Yeah, I'm coming, Isaiah. I'm coming.
Oh, you're all right.
Yeah, that's why I was signaling you to go on because
Oh, I'm
because you know
sorry.
what it.
Let me see
Yeah,
you.
that's all right. That's all right. No, I'm back. I'm back. Because one day it was one day I gave snacks to these children and they now they know where I live and now they expect it.
Oh,
So
yes.
they just come knocking on my door and I'm like, I'm in the middle. All right, but thank you for holding down the fort for me. Yeah. But yes, so did you join any clubs? Did you talk about that? Like, did you join
um, well, I didn't really join a lot of
or any
clubs.
sports or anything like that?
I did try out for basketball, whatever case may be. I played basketball a couple years, but I didn't finish it out throughout school or whatever. I kind of did it, just kind of do some type of sport. Um, I did football, but football was definitely not my favorite. I tried, I was good in it, but I did, end up hurting my arm at one time. And
Oh.
after that practice, I never went back.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the thing because and it's so funny because my son was so accident prone like that too. Like, he played different sports like football, basketball, but every weekend he would come up with another injury. And I'm like, look, I'm not gonna keep taking you to the ER. So we're
Yes,
gonna
ma'am.
hold off. I said, we're gonna hold off to at least maybe high school because you have all these injuries, then you're not gonna be able to really do much when you get older when you have all these
Right.
injuries already. So I think we're gonna need to hold off. And and
Yeah.
he was not so well behaved either. So I had to take him out the team for that reason too. Take away
Yes.
from those sports too. But let me ask you this, Isaiah, like just based off of what you shared in regards to your elementary, junior high school phases, what else, if you can remember, what do you feel like you discovered about yourself?
Um, Looking back, I can say that I think I think one reason why I really didn't, let's put it this way. So growing up, this is something I guess I forgot to say, but growing up, I wasn't, my mom didn't really let me, not say, not so much let me out the house, but I really didn't have that experience to kind of venture out to kind of become as
Okay.
social with
You're
everybody.
more sheltered.
Yeah, so I was a little bit more sheltered. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that played a part as far as my elementary school, I guess, as far as, me being so quiet in school. But it's like now that I look back, it's like I catch myself sometimes finding myself being more prone to trying to reach out more, try to gain connections with different people. Um, I know sometimes even when having a conversation with people, um, I always like to let them start the conversation first, and then I kind of fall
Pick
into
up.
it, and then it kind of goes
Mm-hmm.
from there. But I'm trying to breaking away from there, trying to get better. It's kind of like starting conversations, holding conversation with people, check in on people. So I definitely see now that I kind of broken out of a shell of so much of the shyness, but kind of becoming more open to talking to people.
And so, what was and being with that self discovery, which is great by the way. Um, what are some of the ways that you're doing that? You say you reach out to more people, you connect with them more. And how about in your just briefly on your acting space? How did doesn't that help? In your acting space.
So yes, honestly, it helps me, I guess, because I do see myself, like, as far as on the screen or whatever, I see myself portraying characters. I take away from that and I'm like, I say, if you can do this on a camera in front of this many people,
It's
why,
totally
why
different.
is it so hard for you to do it just for one person
It's
or,
different.
a couple people?
It's totally
Um,
different.
but
Hmm.
I definitely feel like with the acting, it definitely has opened me up a little bit more to be more interactive. Because eventually, when I do make it big, hey, I'm gonna have to be interactive. I'm not one of the ones that I'm not gonna be one of the ones that make it big and I'm not gonna be interactive with my fans. So
Hmm.
I definitely think that it's helped me with my acting career, outside of my acting career, um, and definitely with the public.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, and with that, coming from we talked about your um experience in junior high and elementary, your self discovery. So now let's get into what high school did you go to?
I went to George Washington High School.
Okay, so with high school, another level of self discovery. Now at that time, did you have any growth spurts? Like, did you have any different experiences? Like, give me high school. Did you start dating? Feeling yourself? What?
Okay. So yes, uh as far as the dating, I really didn't honestly start dating until I got in high school, really. Not really taking anything serious. But I did start dating in the ninth grade. I was with her for about maybe, I say it's probably 11th grade. Then we kind of, took a little break and then we kind of got back together. And we were together even after school for maybe like 2 years. So I say altogether we were together for
Aw.
like 5 years.
So that was your first love?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, she was my first love.
Oh, and you said five
But
years?
yes,
Oh wow.
yes, yes. But unfortunately, that didn't work out. um, but I mean, that was okay, because it definitely it helped me to really, I guess, what can I say? Um, it really helped me to see myself. Put it that way. I guess.
And how so? How so, Isaiah?
Um, let's see. So I guess I could say I'm a very nice guy, put it that way. I would do anything for anybody. There's just me, my personality. I'm a genuine. You get what you see. But with not talking bad about the relationship at all, because the relationship wasn't bad. I was there for 5 years.
Yeah, but you were
Um,
young. Mhm.
yeah, I was young. It was actually straight after high school. I was 18, 17, 18.
Wow.
Still young, really, of course, with that being my first time to really started dating and being in a serious relationship, I didn't really have time to really venture out and try to,
Yes.
meet
Yes.
different connections and things of that sort. So I do feel like, I did rush a little bit, It kind of showed me that I think that was like my little honeymoon phase. I was trying to just, experience it, not really looking at the details within the actual relationship. Um, so I will definitely say that, from that relationship, I definitely learned how to love myself more. Definitely not being used or taking, getting being, you know, yeah.
Being taken for granted, right. Yeah, absolutely, and I'm glad that you was able to put that into perspective, but because I think that, and I know a lot of people don't, it's not no shade to anyone because there's a lot of people that still are married to their high school sweethearts, they're still married
Right,
to their college sweethearts, but to me personally, I think that when you have those relationships that start out that early, it
right.
has a lot of enduring, you have to endure so much,
Really,
there's a
yes,
lot of toxicity that don't have to that
right,
doesn't have to happen if you just take the opportunity to date more. Because you can
right,
date, dating and relationships are two different things. You can date
yes,
other people and get to know, what your standards are and know what your worth is and
right.
understand more about if that person is worthy of you. So I feel like you definitely need to explore more options and you have time to do that, Isaiah. So I'm glad that you're able to. I'm not sure what your status is. But matter of fact, what is your dating status? Since we almost on the
Really?
topic.
Actually, I'm engaged. I have a fiance. Also
Oh,
with a 2-year-old son.
oh,
Yes, yes, yes,
congratulations.
yes.
Oh, okay. No, because what I was gonna say, well, I mean, but this worked out for you, but what I'm just saying in general, you know,
Right.
I was, you had the opportunity, like from this. Okay, let me ask you this: the space between the time that you had the relationship with the high school student, now with the fiance, did you allow space to, work on yourself and to be able to prepare yourself for this commitment?
Yes, definitely. Actually, after that relationship, I took at least 5 years to get myself together.
Okay.
That might seem like a long time, but I was still, of course, just dating, kind of, looking around, but I never fully committed myself to nobody. Until I found her, and ever since then, all it took was one conversation a night and talking for hours, and it took off from there.
Oh,
And
is
we've
she in
been
the
together for
industry?
3 years.
3 years. Oh,
Yes.
wonderful. Is she in the industry with you, or she's in a different?
So she's not in the acting industry, but she does do nursing. We're
Ah,
actually trying to get her to go back to school for nursing. So go get her to finish that, and yeah.
yeah. What's holding her back? The
Well, not
baby?
nothing, not saying nothing really holding her back. I guess with us having a child, it kind of
Right. I was
pushed
thinking of
things a
that.
little
Yeah,
back a
it
little bit.
is.
Um,
Yes.
so yeah, that's really it. That's the only thing. But now we're definitely looking in talking about getting her back on.
Yes, yes. Get back on there. We need our great nurses. Yeah, get back on there.
Yes,
But you know, I really sincerely wish you much blessings. Within your family unit, we don't have many, especially within your age group, we don't have many that really stay the course. So,
yes.
I'm glad that you're able to do that. So that's wonderful. And I love that for you, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, so coming out of high school, and did you mention your self-discovery? Yeah, you did mention about self-discovery during high school about how you navigate through relationships and how you are, developing more of your social skills. So that part. Now, what did you do right after high school?
Well, right after high school, I had a job. I started off working. I didn't really go to school. I wasn't really much of the school type of kid.
Okay, right, right. It's not for everyone.
I, yeah, I
Mhm.
really wasn't the school type of kid. But I did start working. I started working off when I was 15 and 6 months. I got my first vehicle at that age.
Oh,
I
really?
had my job back in 2016 at
What
Hardee's. I
job was
started there.
that?
Hardee's.
Hardee's. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Somebody else
So
worked at Hardee's too. I did an interview with. Yeah, Hardee's. Okay.
yeah, so I started there. I was there for like maybe 2 years. And I definitely grew within that company very fast. I was a shift leader leaving out of there. But back then,
Nice.
the pay wage with
Mhm.
on the lower end. So it was like, okay, I gotta find something better. So I definitely ventured off after the Hardee's and fast food. I always stayed in the food industry. That's also something that I have a passion for. I know it might sound a little weird, but
Why would it
um
be weird?
out- outside of acting, The
Yeah, well,
food
that's not
industry,
weird at all.
the food industry is where it's at. You know,
Yeah.
I kind of like serving people. I love customer service. But I did venture off from that a little bit. Now I'm kind of more in the manufacturing warehouse type of facility. And I love that even better. You know, my goal is to definitely move up as in supervision roles. That's what I definitely want to do as far as like a little side
So that's your
hustle.
occupation now? That's your
Yes,
main.
right.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? Okay, I know why you said it's weird because of how you used to be shy and antisocial, but now you just enjoy interacting with people. So you develop more of your interpersonal skills.
Yes.
I
So
need some
definitely,
of those because
and it, and
yeah, I still don't like people too much. So maybe you need to
that's
somebody
how
needs
it
to
is.
work for
That's
me.
how.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
but
I'm gonna
I do I, I do think, being in the customer service field and just having that interaction with people all the time, being around people, it definitely opened me up. So I now it's like, wow, I actually have a passion to actually lead people. So
nice.
it's like I went from that shell of not really want to fool people, but to now want to be show people an example that they can follow, if that makes sense.
Nice. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Oh, yeah, look at you. All right. You sound kind of high value to me, Isaiah. I love that. Yeah. So now, with that being said, about just quickly touch on the leadership role.
Mhm.
Now, do you feel sometimes like when you have to lead people or supervise people, what is that experience like for you? Because you have some people who are very defiant, some who are, who may be because most of your subordinates are older, so they
Right.
stuck in their ways. So what is your approach towards dealing with different type of personalities and how you um what is your approach towards conflict resolution and all that good stuff?
Okay. Well, what I would say is it definitely is challenging. It takes a lot of patience, prayer. It takes all of that.
All of that.
Because sometimes when you put yourself in a shoe to actually be over top of people or have to manage people, it definitely can put you in a difficult situation because you don't know what attitudes you're going to deal with day from day. You don't know the type of personalities that you're going to have to deal with. Um, so I definitely one way that I like to address things like that. I always show a positive attitude. I always like to start the day off, like say for instance, I was leading my team, we getting ready to work. I always like to start off with how is everybody feeling? How are you? You have any questions? You good today? How are you feeling? How did you wake? Like I like to get their feel of how their day is going before we even start the day. Kind of set the tone. I try to always reinforce positivity. I try to not let the negative things, like even if we have negative people, I like to try to, pull them to the side, redirect them, tell them, hey, listen, hey, it's okay. Kind of give them a little breather, kind of help them coach them through it. Because I'm a positive person. I like to smile. I'm happy all the time. At least I try to be.
Mhm.
um, so yeah, but we're dealing with situations with people as far as in work. Honestly, I smile. I have a conversation with them. I get their point of view. I see their point of view of how they're feeling about it. I tell them my point of view, and we come to some type of solution.
Okay, no,
You know?
yep, and
And
I
that's
think that is
being
wonderful.
in a leadership role,
Yeah,
you got to be
absolutely,
able to keep your composure. So you know,
absolutely. But
and
sometimes it's not. But honestly, Isaiah, and I get all that, and it's all fine and good. But sometimes it's not always realistic. So I
yeah,
mean,
that is true.
right? Because I
That is
mean, did
true.
somebody? I mean, can you remember a time when you really were tested by someone? Like you really they really took you there, or they really try to get you out your square.
Oh yes, absolutely. Definitely. Yeah. Let's see. Well, I will say, okay, so definitely it was a time I was working at Tyson Foods, the chicken plant or whatever.
Mhm.
I was a lead team lead there. So I worked in that field for since they opened up in 2023, but I just recently left there for a new different position. But
Okay.
um, I was there from 2023 when they first opened. I was kind of very well known around the plant because I was one of the first ones that came in the plant. Coming into that leadership role like that. So I really didn't have as much backlash from people. But there were ones that came in there that tried to get over, not really wanting to do their job and things of that sort.
Hmm.
Um, and I know as far as any job, sometimes the management is not the best. Okay, and I kind of had dealt with that for a little while in that job, to where I didn't really have a backbone from that job as far as dealing with the employees.
Mm,
So there was a time, of course, there were certain things that employees would try to say that they weren't going to do. And I mean, of course, all I could do is really tell them they either have to do it or, you go see my manager and, talk to them. But a lot of times, I had to take those situations in my hands.
right,
And I did have a situation one time where it didn't end up pretty good. I kind of had, let her know as far as, listen, hey, you got to do this, or you're going to get in trouble for insubordination because you're not doing the job that I asked you to do.
right, right.
Okay, but of course, like I said at the time, I didn't have a backbone as far as management, and she kind of got loud with me, in front of people, making it seem
Mm,
like I was a bad guy,
mm.
and of course, you know, everybody doesn't take response as far as stepping up to somebody's face.
Yeah, yeah,
And this
yeah.
is a
No,
young lady. This is
mm-mm.
a young lady. So of course, I'm not gonna hit you. So but I just
Right,
get my
right.
space.
That's a bit
So there
aggressive.
was
Yeah,
there was a time, where she kind of got in my face. We had all my other employees. Mind you, my line is still running. Got other employees kind of looking at that, taking the attention from off the line. So, I had to deal with that. With management, they came out there late and really didn't come up with a solution.
mm,
Nothing was done with the employee. You know, it was just like a conversation after multiple times of me, reporting that something that went on with this lady.
wow.
So it was just like, I definitely had to I had to walk off and get a breather.
Yes,
Put it that
yes,
way. Yeah, because sometimes, like you said, it doesn't always turn out that way.
it
Especially when
doesn't.
you have employees, testing you as far as stepping in your face and things.
And I think that leadership, when you say management and how they respond to these things, that's why I think that they need to have, the employees back more. They need to back them up a little bit more because when you don't
Right.
have that protection or that type of boundary with the employees and when it comes to leadership staff, yeah, and that's where it becomes more divisive. So, but I
Yeah.
thank you for sharing your perspective on that. And so it just seems like, you do kind of mesh well in
Yes.
that particular role. So, kudos to you on that. So, Isaiah, so how did this acting thing come about? Like when you train, because you was, doing another, occupation, working to pay the bills and all that good stuff. So how did the acting come about?
Let's see. So, well, my acting came about. Acting is not something that I've always wanted to do, and it wasn't something that was on my mind, kind of
Oh,
growing up.
really?
Um, but my aunt, Delinda Kay, she was the
Oh,
one that
that's
got me.
that's
Yes,
your aunt?
yes,
Oh, really?
yeah. So she definitely
Uh,
she got me into it. At first I was a little skeptical. I was like, I don't really know if this is for me. We started off doing plays, you know,
okay.
so it was different from now as far as doing movies. Plays, of course, you gotta know all your lines. It was very hard and very challenging trying to remember some of the things. But as I've grown, as she taught me and led me into doing it, I came adapted to it, and it is grown as a passion for me. And now I literally I can't stop. So I've been doing plays. We have a plethora of plays out. I've been doing that ever since. Uh, let's see, it's been years. I think I was a teenager around like maybe 14. So I've
Mm.
been doing it since then, and I haven't stopped.
So what made her out of like all members of your family and people around her, what made her decide to what was it about you? What I mean, was this something in particular she saw in you in particular? Or what you did you become an understudy at some point, or did you help her like behind the scenes at some point, and she just felt like it was something there? Do you know?
So initially, before me even getting into it, I do feel like that she definitely seen potential in me to be able to do that. I do feel like she's seen the vision of me being in this type of field. So I mean, I'm very grateful for her, bringing me into it or whatever the case may be. Um, but she brought me in. She pretty much told me, she said, Isaiah, I want you. Do you want to do a play? And I'm like, a play, kind of like, huh? I don't know if I'll be able to do that. But she seen the potential in me to be able to do it. She pushed me. She never gave up on me, even when I did struggle.
Right.
Um, and she kept pushing me to my fullest potential. And I
Wonderful.
feel like she did definitely see something in me that this was for me, and I can't say it hasn't let me down since.
And that's wonderful. So I want to know, working with family, because sometimes that's not always, the best thing, So how is it when your interaction with her um behind the scenes and your interaction with her in a family setting, in a personal setting?
Okay, so the way that I look at that, I look at it as a job.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
she's my
Okay.
director, even though she's my aunt. When
Hmm.
it comes to being on set, that's my job. That's me. That's where the onions cut out. That's She's my director. So I make sure that I keep that boundary there because I think that's needed. Because when people get too comfortable, that's when
Yeah,
people can
exactly.
come in. So I definitely always keep my boundary, even with as far as criticism, the way she corrects me. I take it as a learning process. I don't take it as, oh, she's picking on me because I'm her nephew, or she's picking on me because, she
Hmm.
can't do this, or she's not. Like, I don't look at it that way. I look at it as she loves me and she's just trying to push me to where she sees that I can go. So
Wonderful.
I will say, like, our relationship in this acting thing is phenomenal.
Wonderful.
It's nothing that I wouldn't take away from it. It's nothing that I would add to it. It is perfect just the way that it is.
Oh, wonderful. I love that, because I mean that balance is so necessary. And I'm so glad that you're able to have the ability to separate personal and professional. Because not, like I said, unfortunately, not a lot of people within the personal spaces are able to have the ability to do that.
Right.
But let me ask you, Isaiah, where do you see this going? Like from your perspective, um where do you see this going, for you? Like, how do you want this to play out, in the future when it comes to your acting? And where do you see yourself? I know you see yourself winning an Oscar, maybe an Emmy. You never know. So like, where do you see this going?
Um, Honestly, I've always said it my whole life. Me and my aunt, this is one of our mottos. We've always told each other, we're gonna make it.
Mhm.
We're gonna make it. Not saying it hasn't been hard because it has. As far as when I say hard, as far as holding on to that faith of having this dream at a young age to now being at a place where now I'm doing movies and thinking back then, like, wow, I came from doing stage plays, helping my aunt build sets, you
Right.
know.
Hmm.
So it's like I see definitely I see me working with some big actors. As far as like one of my main ones that I cannot wait to act with is Denzel Washington. Like he's someone
Hmm.
that I definitely look up to. Definitely would love to get some pointers from. I see
Yes.
myself working with, just connecting with different famous actors. I feel myself being one of the top.
Yeah, you do.
I
Yes.
feel myself making myself one of the legends like Denzel Washington.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
That's what I'm gonna always strive and push myself to.
Absolutely. Yeah, you better manifest that now. You better manifest that. So now let me ask you this, out of curiosity, what was the first thing you did with the first acting check you got? I don't know how big or small it was, but what was one of the first things you did with that acting check? Not the regular 9 to 5 check, but the acting check.
Well, let's just say this. It's not paid gigs. And what I would say is
Mhm, mhm.
I look at it as this is the
Exposure.
sacrifice this is the sacrifice that I have to make to
Yes,
get to where I
yes.
want to.
Okay.
It's not so much really about the money. It's the point of me actually doing something that I love. You
Absolutely.
know. Um it's about me actually making a career out of it, me actually doing acting as a job and actually getting paid for it. But I know until then, until I can get there, I have to sacrifice. And it does take sacrifice. You got
Yes,
long nights.
absolutely.
It takes your time. You have long nights where you're filming from day in to day out. So it's definitely something that I don't look at to. Of course, I want to get paid for it eventually, but
Yes,
it's not
yes.
right now. That's something that I'm working towards.
Yes, and what the type of exposure you're getting right now, Isaiah, trust me, it's not gonna go unnoticed. Trust and believe that. It's going to hit, because you're not only on Tubi, you have movies on Amazon Prime, like this, the start is there, it's
Right.
up from here. So yeah, I truly believe that. And in regards to your acting and your regular job, how do you manage, and having a family as well? How do you manage it all?
Well, whether you
Mm-hmm.
know it or not,
Mm-hmm.
this is, I would say, it does sometimes become challenging. But I try to, as far as with the acting and trying to balance like my home life and working, it can become very tiresome. Definitely with a 2 year old keeping me on my
Yes.
toes, ripping
Yes.
around all the time. It definitely can become challenging. So I always try to, even if it has to be late nights,
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
kind of make sure that my house is good and in order. I make sure my son is laid down. So as far as my fiance, she doesn't have to do too much. And well, I'm a cooking man too. So,
Oh, good.
by the time,
Yeah, you
my
said that.
fiance comes
Yeah, you
home,
said you
I
like to
cook.
cook. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have meals prepared, kind of have so the night can go fluently. And when it goes like that, I set a time to kind of like study my scripts or, and I'm a type that I don't need a lot of time as far as rehearsing my lines. Um, Honestly, I could probably look at it if I was to get a script like today by, let's say what today is Wednesday, by the end of the weekend, I'll have it down pat,
Wow. That's
regardless of
impressive.
what. Yeah, so it doesn't take a lot of time because when I actually get into it and I'm focused. I actually take the time to learn my character. I take the time to actually become that character. I find out my tone of how I need to be,
Mm-hmm.
and once I find all those things out, it kind of plays together. I learn my lines, and it probably takes maybe like between that week span, maybe of course, just the night times doing rehearsing those lines, I can get it. So I really don't need as much time as far as the studying wise in my acting career. I don't need as much time, but
But it's
yeah,
effective. Whatever you're
yeah,
doing, it
it's
works.
effective.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. Whatever you're doing, it works, and it works so well. So make sure just a quick plug here. Make sure that you check out Isaiah's work on Tubi. Just type in his name and you see all his work on Tubi as well as Amazon Prime. He has a movie out called The New Guest on Amazon Prime as well as Tubi. And I have the link in the description box to the clip that you just saw, Unauthorized Love, as well as the new guest is going to be in the description box below. And I want to just, before we continue, Isaiah, I just wanted to thank you for what you shared with me so far, because I know that we just got on the surface of what it is that what your journey is and what it entails, but based on what you have shared with us as far as you transitioning and kind of evolving, from being the shy antisocial kid to developing enough social skills to be a leader within your job and also to just take on, the be more proactive when it comes to your acting and being the family man that you are. So before I forget, I just wanted to give you some of your flowers, that you
thank you, thank
deserve.
you,
Yeah, so I think that that's commendable, especially a young man like yourself. So I think that's very commendable. So I just
thank you.
wanted to make sure that I acknowledge that. Yeah. So Isaiah, I'm gonna have a little fun with you. Now, you still have your script on the side, right? You still
Yes,
have that
ma'am.
script? Yep. Now, before we get to that script, I want to do what, I like to do with my guests. It's called this or that.
Okay.
Here they come, yo. Here they come.
All right. So Isaiah, so I'm gonna come up with some random stuff. No particular, you know, topic, no particular order or anything. And you have to choose one or the other. You can't plead the fifth. You can't choose both. Either this or that. Mm,
Well,
right? All right. So peanut shoes or Charleston shoe?
peanut shoes.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, unauthorized love or the new guest.
Unauthorized love.
Okay. Now, twist or Caesar cut.
Mm. Twist.
Oh, you prefer the twist. Okay. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you've been rocking the Caesar for a while.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was on it for a while, but I
Yeah.
I
I like the
guess
clean cut.
get a little old. I guess I got it older. The season could
Oh.
kind of make me look a little younger.
Yeah, but I think the facial hair, you got facial hair too, so that
Yeah.
you're more mature that way. So, excuse me.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. So, I'm cotton or polyester.
Um, cotton.
Okay. Um, I'm going old school on you. Brute or Old Spice?
Oh, um,
Yeah, I'm going old
I'll go
school.
Old Spice.
Yeah. I went old school on you. I know I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. I Get Around by Tupac or Get Money by Notorious B.I.G. Oh, wait, is that Junior Mafia or B.I.G.? Is that song Get Money? Is that
Get,
by Junior?
I I'm not for sure. I know the song, but I don't know
Yeah,
exactly who it's from.
but keep me up.
Get
B.I.G.
money.
Get Money. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So all right. So if you had to, but I know it's hard though. But if you have to choose acting or um your regular customer service jobs, or the supervisory roles, your regular occupations,
Definitely act.
definitely acting.
I would say act. Yes.
Okay. Now, Dave Chappelle or Eddie Murphy?
Dave Chappelle.
Okay. Now, I'm not sure if you worked with any of these, but I'm just going to put it out there. You let me know. And if you haven't, let me know if you haven't been not familiar with them because I can change it.
Okay.
You know. Now, um, Emery Lawrence or J. Davis?
Yeah, I'm not familiar
Yeah,
with them.
not neither one of them.
No.
Okay. Okay. We try another one. We try another one. Okay. I'm trying to go back to because a lot of times, like what it is, Isaiah. I'm a fan of the Tubi movies and shows that I
Okay.
watch with you guys, but I don't always remember all of the names of all of the movie titles. So that's why
Yes.
I have
Yeah.
to really think. I have to really think a little bit. And I know you worked with some great co-stars, so I just okay. Let me see. I don't know if you worked with these people or not, but Crystal Monique or Sierra Angelia. None. Are you
Yeah.
familiar?
No,
You're
man.
familiar?
So
Okay. Okay.
I haven't really worked with a lot of bigger people as far as in the 2B rank.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So okay, let's go here. All right. I don't know if you shopped at any of these places or not, but Amazon or TikTok shop.
Mm.
Mhm.
I would say Amazon, but I was kind
Okay.
of like I'm kind of like versatile, sliding over to the TikTok shop. But I would definitely say Amazon.
Okay. All right. Hey, Food Lion or Piggly Wiggly. I don't know if any of those.
Food line.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's any of those. Okay. All righty. And so now when it comes to the baby, do you prefer to change the diaper or bathe? Like,
Babe.
change the diaper or why you trying to gotta change the diaper?
uh,
Why you
I
trying to
got a
pull
weak
out of
stomach. I
that?
mean, I change it, but it's like,
He said, yeah. All right. So, pizza or Sicilian? Pizza slice or Sicilian?
Mm,
Have you had a Sicilian? Have you had, you,
I've
okay.
heard of it, but I've never had it. Yeah.
Pizza. Okay. Pizza or gyro?
Pizza.
Okay. And so, Pringles or Lay's?
Mm, Pringles.
Now, let me ask you, how far, because I'm a music lover and I'm a lover of old school. So how oh I mean, are you a lover of old school music? Because I want to go
Yeah.
too far back on you.
Yeah, I mean, I do like. I'm more of the old school. I don't listen to young school music like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But now, as far as like I know songs, but when you like, sometimes I don't know about the names. I don't really keep with the names. I just
Right, not
listen to a lot
right,
of
right.
music. Yes.
All right, so let me just go here. Michael Jackson or Prince.
Ooh, Michael Jackson.
All right, thank you so much for playing with me. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And now we're going to get into and I really enjoy this. So make sure you get your script ready because Isaiah, we're about to act the part, Isaiah.
Okay.
Action.
All right, Isaiah. So I know you're not without talent, Isaiah. So I need you to put your all into this, your personality, your delivery, all that you said during your interview, because you never know who's watching this, Isaiah. This could
Uh-huh.
be the break that you need. This could be the break right here that say, oh, okay, now I know he got something there. So you got to make sure that you're ready. So I need you to stay ready. So you have to get ready, Isaiah. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So are you ready, Isaiah?
Yes, I think I'm ready.
Don't be nervous, Isaiah. You got to be more
I
confident.
know.
I need more confidence in you, Isaiah. Come on, give me. Are you ready, Isaiah?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So
All right.
you remember where to start, right? You remember where to start, Isaiah?
Yes,
All right. And action.
baby. I am what I am.
I know.
I'm gonna be who I be.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from chasing a cat to on a tree.
But doesn't make it right, though. Like,
Let me see what I gotta see.
mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm.
Do what I gotta do. Dog for life, but keep it true
I guess. Mm-hmm.
and get reckless. But I still know that home is home. All right.
You better recognize.
And when I get there,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sit there,
Mm-hmm.
take her, take her there,
Mm-hmm.
put my there.
Mm-hmm.
Do I handle my business?
Yeah, you gotta. I know you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I'm gonna run till I bust my gun and empty the clip.
Wow, is it like that? Oh my God, it's like that.
And if I come home and I gotta go, just give me the whip.
Mm.
I ain't got time for the lip.
Oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Just open the fence,
Mm.
you go, and I'll come back. I've
I'll
been
take
stuck with the streets.
Mm.
Hey, keep the heat.
Mm. All right, all right.
You gotta eat.
Mm. Mm.
I'll pass on a week.
Mm.
If it's out there, I want it. All
Mm.
in one time. So when it's my time, I've done it. All right?
I I know you. You would kill for me. I mean, you'll die for me. I know you like to just rip and run the streets, even though I don't like it too much. But I got nervous. I get nervous sometimes, baby. I can't help to think you might not make it home to eat. That's my thing. That's my thing about it. I barely sleep. I mean, come on. Could you pick up a phone at least? Call me at home. Let me know to check on me. I mean, and let me know you ain't in some heat. Just let me know. Let me know that you're okay. Let me know that you're straight. Um, don't come crying when you're grown. I'm looking out for you because you be looking out for me the same way. So I'm gonna look out for you the same way you look out for me. You can go with your dogs if you can make this promise to me. I need you to promise me that you make it back in one piece. That's what I really want. I mean, you could go with your dogs, but you have to promise me. Make this promise to me. If you go bending the law, I need you to promise me. I need you to make this promise to me. I know you all up. I know you up and in it all, but could you make this promise to me? Just make it back in one piece.
Peace. And oh boy, I know you gotta do what you do. You making moves. I'm making moves.
Yeah.
Yo, we cool?
Mm. I mean,
What?
mm,
What?
I got. Mm.
Stay on pause.
Still,
I
I
got
mean,
your
I got
back.
you.
I got
Yeah.
your back if you fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. Keep talking. Keep groveling to me. Keep groveling. I think I'm getting there. Yeah. Keep talking. I
No-
think I'm getting. I'm coming around a little bit. I'm coming around.
Nothing's too big. It ain't nothing too small.
Really? You
It's
think
still
so?
ball.
You think? Oh, really? Mm,
Dog tags around my neck. The
right,
streets are
right.
mine.
Oh, they are. Are they now?
I might leave that heat behind.
You should. Mm,
Because in the streets, I'm fine.
mm. You think so?
That's
Okay.
why I sleep till 9. And I do it again.
Mm,
If
you
you
would,
love
would you?
something, let it go. If it comes back to you,
Mm,
it's yours. And if it
okay.
doesn't,
Mm,
you never know.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess you're right. I mean,
You got me? Because I got
yeah.
you.
Mm, mm.
Dog with the dog, ride till we die. If it's on, then it's on.
But yo, you can go with your. Like I said before, you could go with your dogs if you make this promise to me. You make it back in one piece. Sad, you can go with your dogs if you make this promise to me. Before you go bending the law, come on. If you just make this promise to me, you make it back in one piece. I know you all up and all, but make this promise to me because I'll make you back in one piece. And sing. Yes, Isaiah.
Because
I mean, I love that. Look at, I mean, listen, that's true. I mean, I just felt the sincerity in your voice. I was just like,
yeah.
okay, all right. I think I see where you're going with that. Okay, all right. Yeah, see, but you see, what I was trying to get you.
Yes,
I was
I
trying to
see.
get you
Yes.
there. Yeah. So, was that fun for you?
Oh, yes, that was definitely fun. It was definitely like an opener right there. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you having fun with me. And so I like to ask these last two questions before we wrap up. And I really enjoy the answers that I get. So if you had the opportunity to have five people at the city table, dead or alive, who would they be and why? I need the why for each one.
And you talking about as far as like just anybody that I would want to be.
Anybody, anyone, dead or alive, anyone. Five people.
Um, One is my great grandmother.
Okay.
Reason why is, I took care of her, and she's always
Oh,
been there.
really?
She's always
Oh,
definitely supported me. And God bless her soul. I watched her take her last breath. So
wow.
I would definitely
Mm,
want her.
yes, yes.
Also is my great grandfather, which is her husband. Um,
Oh,
Another reason is he helped pretty much raise me. He gave me that structure as a man that I really, really needed, that old school structure. Um, and God bless his soul as well. I watched him take his last breath. So definitely those two people. Of course, my mom. Shout out to my mom.
shout out to
She's
mom.
def- she's definitely my number one supporter. I love her to death. Um, you know, my aunt Dylan Decay, thanks to her.
Mhm.
She definitely for even putting me in this field. I couldn't make
Yes,
it without her. She's the one that started this all for me. Um,
absolutely.
and that was four. And this is very tough.
Yeah, I know.
uh um, and I must say my fiance,
Oh,
through it all, like even with me having to play the roles that I play, she's very supportive, she's there. She, supports me in everything. She's just overall
overall,
one, yeah.
yes. Now, a follow up to this: who would get the big piece of chicken and why?
Um, it probably would be my aunt.
Uh,
At the end of the day, yeah. It
why?
probably be my aunt. Because she's just deserving of it. She's just
Okay,
so
okay.
deserving.
I love that. I love that. And now, so this final question, I take from the late James Luther from Inside the Actor Studio. So, Isaiah Wimbush, when you enter into the pearly gates, what would you want God to say?
Well done, my good and faithful servant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. I get that a lot. The well done, my good and faithful servant, because I think we just need that affirmation from him, because
Yes.
that's where it counts the most. So I just thank you so much for just blessing us with your presence here, Isaiah. It's been a wonderful time having you here. I hope you'll be back, you know,
Absolutely, absolutely. As
you should
long as you
come back
give me
and
the opportunity to come back,
absolutely.
I definitely would be happy to grace this platform
Yeah,
anytime you may need me. I
absolutely.
thank you for this opportunity. This is honestly my first time doing something like this, so
Really
hopefully there are many more opportunities that come along that may open
wonderful.
that door for me
Yes.
to do this.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I just well, I mean, that's even more humbling for me. So I appreciate
Yes,
that. And
absolutely,
make sure you be back here to sit with your auntie next week, for her interview. So make sure you
absolutely,
come back for that, So I
absolutely.
really do appreciate that. So any final words for us, Isaiah?
Um, Nothing really, but the only thing I
Mhm.
gotta say is if you have a dream, something that you want to become, make reality, go for it. Even with your platform, just know you stay consistent. Your followers and everything's gonna go up for you. And
Oh, thank
I pray blessings, special blessings to you on your platform.
thank you. Thank you so much. That
Yes,
means a lot to me. Thank you so
yes,
much. So
absolutely.
ladies and gentlemen, this is Isaiah Wimbush, y'all. Yeah,
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
yes, absolutely. And God bless you, Isaiah.
Absolutely. God bless you as well.
Alrighty. Yes, so there he was, Isaiah Wimbush in the building, actor extraordinaire. Check his movies out on Tubi as well as Amazon Prime Video. And I just want to make sure that I highlight these individuals, especially come from the independent space and the creative space, and just to make sure that they know that they are seen, that they're being noticed. So I just thank him so much for being in the building with us. So please make sure if you don't see me or hear from me before this coming Saturday, please make sure you're in the building. I'm going to be interviewing with filmmaker India Williams. So please make sure that you're in the building this coming Saturday, June 20th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I just really hope that you guys have a blessed day, a blessed weekend. If you celebrate Juneteenth on this Friday, make sure you enjoy that as well. And just do what my friend AT2
Make
says.
sure you subscribe today because you gonna have to pay. I don't know what, but you gonna have to pay. Hey, 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 break it down, break it down.
Have a good one.